I don't know what pulled you here at this moment, but something did. Maybe curiosity, maybe pain, maybe silence, maybe your heart needed company tonight. You did not come by accident. You were guided by something unseen. People scroll endlessly, yet you stopped here. That pause means more than you think, because hearts recognize truth before minds, and yours felt something familiar here. Listen to me without rushing away, without skipping seconds, without judging intentions. This is not another empty story. This is confession, raw and trembling honest. I speak softly, but my words carry heavy truths for tired souls listening. I have lived behind smiles too, laughing loudly outside, breaking silently inside. Nobody noticed cracks hidden beneath confidence. Nobody asked questions. They feared real answers. So I learned to survive alone, to heal myself without borrowed comfort. But survival changes how you love people. It makes you careful, yet deeply loyal inside. I loved quietly, with guarded intensity, afraid of losing what I barely had. Maybe you understand this unspoken feeling, loving deeply, silently, hoping nobody leaves. I have lost without goodbyes given, watched promises fade like unread messages. Each loss taught me something painful. People change suddenly, without warning or mercy. That is why I hesitate trusting, why my heart checks exits constantly. Yet despite fear, I still believe in meaningful connections that change lifetimes forever. Maybe you are one of those rare souls listening instead of scrolling away. If you stayed this far already, your heart knows this message matters. I am not here to impress. I am here to be honest. Honesty is heavy. Few people carry, most prefer illusions, painted by convenience. I choose truth, even if shaking, even if voice cracks, even if misunderstood, because someday someone needs to hear they are not broken beyond repair. Maybe that someone is you tonight, reading quietly alone, with thoughts racing endlessly. I see you, even unseen physically. Your silence speaks, louder than words ever. You pretend strength, yet crave reassurance. You help others while neglecting yourself. You smile online, but cry offline. You give chances, despite past betrayals suffered. This confession is reaching you because your heart asked for understanding. You are not weak for feeling deeply. You are human, trying to survive gently. I do not know your story, but I feel its weight already. Stories recognize stories. Pain recognizes pain. Hearts speak silently across invisible distances. If you are still reading this, something inside you refuses to give up, and that something is worth protecting, worth loving fiercely, worth believing again. Stay with me just a little. This is only The beginning here, truth unfolds slowly, like guarded hearts, opening layer by layer without pressure. I will not rush this moment. Real connections deserve patience, respect, honesty. You deserve that, even if forgotten, even if overlooked, even if underestimated often. Your existence matters. Your feelings matter. Your pain counts. Your healing matters too. Do not leave. Before hearing this, you are stronger than your darkest nights. And this confession has much more waiting ahead still, meant only for you. If you are still here reading as lowly, which already proves your depth quietly. Most people flee when emotions appear, but you leaned closer instead of escaping again. That tells me you feel deeply too, even when pretending. You are unaffected daily. People like us carry invisible weight, smiling through storms nobody ever sees. We become listeners for everyone else, absorbing their pain, forgetting ourselves completely. Tell me honestly, when did you last feel truly understood without explaining everything? It rarely happens because real understanding requires patience, courage, and emotional presence too. This moment right now feels different, like someone finally speaking your inner language. Maybe that scares you slightly inside. Hope often feels dangerous after disappointments. Hope whispers softly, then pain screams loudly. So we learn to mute expectations early. But listen carefully. I am not selling false comfort or temporary relief. I am offering something much rarer, shared emotional truth, without hidden intentions. I know how it feels waiting for messages unsent from people fading away. I know nights where silence roars and thoughts replay old conversations endlessly. I know questioning your own worth because someone failed to value your presence. That kind of pain rewires your heart, makes trust feel like fragile glass now. Yet despite damage, you still love with sincerity intact and courage untouched somehow. That alone makes you extraordinary quietly. In a world full of emotional cowards, many choose convenience over commitment daily. Many leave early. When depth demands effort, you stayed reading because depth calls to depthsile and Teely across unknown distances. This confession exists to remind you your heart is not a liability ever. It is strength misused by wrong people, but priceless for the right soul someday. Do not harden what stayed soft through all betrayals and unanswered prayers. Softness survived because it matters, because love needs people like you alive. If you disappeared emotionally, the world would lose quiet kindness. It rarely celebrates enough. I am not promising perfect endings. I am promising honest emotional presence here. Sometimes healing starts not with solutions, but with recognition. Someone truly sees you Consider this recognition written carefully for your tired heart seeking safe connection. You do not need fixing tonight. You need rest from pretending strength always. Let this moment be that rest. Breathe slowly now. You are safe reading. Nothing demanded here. No performance required. No mask needed. No expectations forced. Just you existing with your feelings valid, your past acknowledged, your future still open. If tears appear, let them fall. They are proof you still feel alive. Numb hearts do not cry anymore. They simply survive without joy or pain. You are not numb. You are overwhelmed, which means healing is still possible ahead. This is why you were pulled here at this exact moment. Your heart asked quietly, and somehow fate answered through words written by someone who understands the weight. Stay a little longer with me. The confession deepens and truths unfold further. This is not the ending yet. This is where real honesty truly begins. If you stayed until this quiet place, which tells me you're so who listens deeply. Not everyone reaches this far emotionally. Most leave before truth becomes uncomfortable, but you remained through vulnerability unfolding, through words mirroring your own hidden wounds. That means something rare and meaningful about who you are beneath layers. You are not afraid of depth. You are afraid of being disappointed again. That fear makes sense. After everything endured, after trusting fully and receiving fragments back, people promised forever, then disappeared silently, leaving questions unanswered and hearts unfinished healing. You learned lessons nobody taught gently, that love requires courage and loss requires strength. Yet here you are, still open enough to feel this confession breathing softly. Do you realize how powerful that is? To still feel after emotional earthquakes passed, many shut down, locked doors permanently. You left windows slightly open still. Hope sneaks through those small openings, quietly without noise, without demanding belief. Hope looks fragile, but it survives storms because it adapts. Instead of fighting blindly, you adapted too. Even when hurting, even when doubting, even when misunderstood often, you grew quieter, but not colder, wiser, but still kind when possible. Kindness like yours is not weakness. It is controlled strength, tempered by experience gained. This world exploits soft hearts quickly, yet needs them desperately to remain human still. If everyone hardened completely from pain, love would disappear and healing would fail. So your softness is resistance itself, a refusal to become what hurt you. That matters more than you realize, even if unseen, even if unthanked often. Someone someday will recognize it and treat it with the reverence deserved. Until then, you must protect your heart wisely, without burying it alive. Boundaries are not walls of isolation, they are doors opened only for respect. Learn this truth without guilt attached. You owe access to nobody undeserving ever. You are allowed to choose peace over chaos disguised as passionate connection. Real love feels safe, not anxious, steady, not confusing, warm, not draining constantly. If something exhausts your spirit repeatedly, it is not love teaching growth. Love should expand your inner world, not shrink it through constant fear cycles. You deserve ease alongside excitement, security alongside passion, consistency alongside desire. Do not settle for half affection or inconsistent attention or borrowed effort only. You are not asking for too much. You are offering far more than received. Remember that always when self-doubt tries rewriting history to blame your heart was honest. Others were confused or unavailable emotionally or afraid of commitment depth. That is not your failure ever. That is their limitation colliding with your capacity to love deeply, sincerely, bravely, without calculating exits. Before entering connections, protect that capacity, but do not shrink it. The world needs souls like yours alive. This confession continues because your story continues, because healing is ongoing, because love is patient. You are not late. You are becoming ready for something healthier than past experiences offered. Trust the timing, even when lonely, even when quiet nights stretch longer than desired. Something aligned is forming beyond your sight, requiring your growth before meeting you fully. Until that moment, keep choosing yourself, keep listening inward, keep honoring your feelings. You are pulled here for reassurance tonight, for grounding truth,